Hello guys, KaijudoChannel here, and I'm here with a special video right now. This is a full video match between me and 3vanbanjo using the new Cockatrice mod that we both worked on. So I'm using Marino control, he's using rub control, which is fire, darkness, water control. And yeah, I'm just gonna show you the full match and commentate over it. So his first play is Emerald. And as you can see, you can put cards face down and indicate that they're the shield marked. It doesn't work if you put it sideways like you do in video duels, because then when you untap all your cards, it untaps it too. So what I suggest you do is you put a counter on the card. So then I put Thrash Crawler mana and I pass. I'm just looking around the menus and stuff because this is the first time I ever used it. He plays Stream and draws 2 cards. And I decide to put colon and mana and play my own stream to draw 2. So it's really cool because you can like drag from the deck to draw. You can do like Control D as a shortcut to draw. There's a lot of neat shortcuts you can use. So then he clamps me turn 4, and I'm like, okay, discard, stream and locomotiver. And there's the phases on the left, but you pretty much just have to ignore the life point thing on the player avatars, because those are for magic, so you can just completely ignore that. I play Maggers to draw a card. That's pretty much it. And then I don't know what's going on here, but okay, there you go. He plays Melnia, which I forgot to fix there. And then I decided to play my first Marino Mancer, and I get a +3 because they're all lights and darks. And this is pretty much a pattern throughout the whole game, because I played Marino Mancer a good 4 times, I think, throughout the whole match. So just to show how consistent Marino Mancer is. So he decides to play Bloody Skeeto and passes the turn. I draw a Zombie Carnival, and I put the other colon in mana, and I tap 4 for Cranium Clamp, and he loses Terror Pit and Coral. Then I tap the other 2 mana for Sarius, and then he's like, aha! And I'm like, oh no, what did he do? And he just plays Aqua Hocus. Okay, kind of scared me there. So I drew a Hulkus, I think, and I tap 6. Terror Pit the Melnia because Melnia is annoying. I don't like Melnia, so I just get rid of it. So now we're just talking about cards in the Japanese game that are better than Melnia, I think. And yeah, as you can see, it looks really awesome. It's a lot more customizable than Duel Masters Civilization is. Okay, so here I evolve Sarius into Crazy Valkyrie and tap Skeeto and Hulkus. So here's another thing you could do. You could drag your card with the right click of the mouse onto cards, and it draws an arrow on them, so you could like point out which card you're attacking or what you're selecting, and it's really cool. So I attack with Valkyrie and Maggers to get rid of the 2 I tapped, and I decide to swing with Marino Mancer on a shield. Now here's one thing that kind of sucks about this thing, is that you can't like add it to your hand without, like because you can't see your opponent's hand. Like you can't even see the back of his hand. So if you put the shield in your hand, like there's no way to tell that it's a shield trigger. You could just be playing another card in your hand as a shield trigger. So the only real way to bypass that is to set your whole hand, then draw, so you only have take the shield, so you only have 1 card in your hand, then play it from your hand. Which kind of sucks, but anyways. So he plays Coral to bounce my Valkyrie and Sarius. And then I just decide to play Hulkus to get back Sarius and play him again. So pretty much back to where I started. So he plays Stream and draws 2, and then taps 2 to play Emerald. So as you can see here, you put a counter on the shield so you can easily tell what is Emerald. So here I think I draw another Valkyrie. Or was it a Sarius? I think it was a Sarius. So I evolve Sarius again and tap Coral and Emerald and then kill them both with Magris and Hulkus, and then do I swing? I think I do. I swing with Valkyrie on the other two shields. So he sets his whole hand and picks the shield up. And I hit a burst shot, so he only destroys my Hulkus. And I end my turn. He already has 18 cards left in his deck. So yeah, I guess that's like the only real advantage of using a 53 card deck, because he won't deck out as much. So he has 5 cards in his hand. He has a lot of things he can do. And he decides to put a 7th mana and play Miraculous Plague, and I'm like, oh no. Yeah, so here I find out that you can tap all your cards at once if you drag a box over the cards you want to tap. And yeah, this is the first time using it, so I had no idea what to do. So he plays Plague, which is a card that I'm not using in my Marino control, but it's pretty good. So I actually decide to send Valkyrie to the grave and Cyrus to my hand, and then I get Emerald back to my hand because I have Zombie Carnival. And it just feeds the Zombie Carnival so I can get all my initiates back. So I was like, okay, perfect. That's fine with me. So I play Emerald and set the Carnival because I'd rather play it for free. And I already have, a decent sized hand, so it's not like extremely important. And then I play Sarius. Now here, I think I end up cheating here because I play Magris as mana at the end of the turn. And I originally thought that you were able to do that because, I've seen it in Magic the Gathering, and I thought you'd be able to do that. Thank God it didn't really matter in this game because next turn I didn't play mana. So it really wouldn't have mattered because then I would just would have put the Magris in mana next turn. But yeah, I only found out about that during this game, which I think is true. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, because I don't know. I looked at the rulebook. And, it does say parts of your turn, but it never says anything about playing mana after combat or something. So mana before combat, because I know once you do combat you're done. But I never really knew that you have to play mana at the very start. So you can't draw off a stream and then put something in mana. So here we're discussing it, and I'm pretty sure Evan was right in that you have to play mana at the very start. So, yeah. Anyways, I didn't play mana this turn anyway, just to be sure that I'm not cheating or whatever. That's fine, it doesn't matter. It really didn't matter. So, he plays Melnia and evolves into Crystal Lancer and then swings. Okay, there, I tried to put my whole hand at once, but it only puts face down the first card. But thank God those 3 cards were the cards I drew off Marino Mancer. So it didn't really matter. Yeah, I forgot to mention that. I drew another 3 Darkness and Lights off of Marino Mancer there. So I draw Faliga, and I have a huge hand. So I say, okay, put Clamp in mana because I already have another one and a Lost Soul. He has no hand, so okay, forget it. So I decided to play Blue Mercus, I think, just to get a nice big creature on the board. And then I decided to swing with Emerald to just, clash with the Melnia, because he'd be really annoying. Then he plays Stream to draw 2, and then I think he plays Hulkus. No, never mind. He plays 2 Bloody Skeeto. And he's like, oh crap, wait, you have Awe. He saw me draw it off Marino Mancer. So I put all my hand down again, and I take my 2 shields that he hits with Lancer, and I Terra Pit the Lancer, and I Zombie Carnival back my initiates. So I get 2 Valkyries and a Sarius back. He gives up because he set those 2 spell shield triggers, and Blue Mercus would have just swung into them, and he wouldn't be able to use them. So that was game 1. I take game 1. So now we go straight to game 2, set our shields down and everything. Yeah, so he lets me start this time because he started last time, so we're just going to change things up, I guess. So I put Terra Pit in mana, he puts Lancer in mana, and then I put Hulkus in mana. No, I decided to put Magris in mana. have a turn 2 play either, and then I play stream. I play stream instead of Hulkus because he has no creatures on board, and I felt that if he doesn't have any, then I could. I don't need to have any either. And I'd rather thin out my deck more than just only draw one card and have field presence. So I top decked the Clamp. I was like, okay, here we go. I'm gonna top deck Clamp, and I'm like, oh, there it is. I was so sorry after that. I was like, oh my god, dude, I just top decked that Clamp. But it's okay because he clamps me back, and I sent, I think, Valkyrie and Feliga. No, I'm not really sure what I sent. I missed it. So I play Marino Master, and once again I get a +2. I only lose Hulkus. There was not a single time where I drew 2 waters in the whole match, so I guess I was pretty lucky, considering I have quite a bit of water cards in my deck, but since I have 53 cards, it's kind of unlikely to draw so many waters. But who knows. So he plays a second Clamp on the next turn, and I'm like, what do I do? I'm like, okay, I guess I'll have to drop the Valkyrie and the Locomotiver, so that I have a Zombie Carnival that's still live. And I decided to play that now because I want the Valkyrie in my hand. Well, both Valkyries, I guess. Now the only problem is that I have to draw an Initiate, but as you can see in my hand I have Marino Mancer, so I'm kind of expecting to draw another one. So here I drew Melnia. He didn't have a play there for some reason. He had 5 cards in his mana zone, but he didn't have a play. So I decided to hold back on the Marino Mancer and get Melnia, and he's like, nope, just go away. He terror pits it. So now I play the second Marino Mancer, and I get Holia, Bloody Skeeto, and Colin. And he's like, really? Another +3. So I found out at the end of this match that he's not running Lost Soul in his deck, and I was worried about Lost Soul, but he didn't have it, so I was like, okay, that's fine with me. So he plays Bomedius, and I'm like, that's why I kept my Terror Pit, and goes bye-bye. And I'm holding back on attacking because, I'm worried about Burst Shot and stuff, so he plays another Melnia. And I decide to put my other Valkyrie in mana because I'm just not drawing Initiates. So I tap 2 for Skeeto, and then I tap another 6 for Bloomerkiss because I said, you know what, whatever Melnia, you can do whatever you want. I'd rather get more cards in my hand anyway. So he corralled my Bloomerkiss, and then he hit my Colon, so I tap his corral. That's fine with me. So I draw my Bloomerkiss back into my hand. And I'm like, okay, Bloomerkiss, get back out there. And Colon's gonna swing, hit the Melnia to suicide, and I'm gonna suicide with Marino Mancer too, so he has no field. And then here I'm having trouble sorting my cards out, but anyways, that was fine. Puts Burst Shot mana and draws 2 with the stream. And here's where he played Hulkus, right? No, it's not here. Okay, anyway, he Tornado Flames my Bloody Skeeto. So now I draw Tajimal, and I'm like, yep, let's get that Tajimal out. And I swing a Bloomerkiss. And he forgot to reveal the cards, but then he reveals them later. It's just Stream of Melnia, so I'm like, okay. It's fine with me. And I think I swing with the Marino Mancer too, because now Burst Shot wouldn't be as detrimental. It would just kill Marino Mancer, and that's like, whatever. But he gets Terror Pit, and he hits Bloomerkiss, and whatever, it's fine. I didn't think about Terror Pit, because I thought he played so many Terror Pits already that he wouldn't have it. So he plays Melnia, and then Crystal Lancer right after, and swings with 2 shields. And he hits Holia on Marino Mancer, but I can't play the Holia, because clearly it has nothing to tap. So I draw Lost Soul, and I'm like, oh baby, this is gonna be good. So I Terror Pit the Lancer, and do I swing with Marino Mancer? Actually swing with Marino Mancer, because here he has no cards left, and I'm like, okay, let's just do it. I'm gonna give him as much cards as possible, so that Lost Soul becomes so much better against them. And it worked out, because then he Critical Blaze my Taj Mahal, and then he plays Hulkus to draw, and then Stream to draw even more. And then in the chat, I'm like, yes, that is exactly what I wanted you to do. So then I draw, and I'm like, okay, screw it, Lost Soul, you lose all your hand. So that was a +3 for me there. That was awesome. That was like the best case scenario right there. But I think he plays Clamp now? No, he doesn't. He plays Revolver Fish, and he swings with the Hulkus. And I don't get a shield trigger, but I get an Emerald. So I'm like, yes, I can set Holia and, save myself for one turn. So here I top decked with Faliga. So I play Emerald and get that Holy Awe down because I really wanted it. And I get Tajumal off their shields. Then I'm like, you know what? Let's screw it. I'm going to draw more with Marino Mancer. And once again, they're all perfectly fine. They all go into my hand. Marino Mancer just never failed me this game. So here in the chat, I'm like, if you top deck Lost Soul, I'm like, and little did I know he's not even running it. So here he gets rid of all my shields, and I'm like, well, he hits my Holy Awe, and I tap everything. So I'm like, okay, here I have to win. So I play Valkyrie right away, even though everything's tapped, and then I swing with Emerald because if it's a burst shot, he can't do anything. And that's the game because it was a full Medius and shields. To Domeda, and talking about how consistent the deck is. So I hope you liked this match. It was really fun. Great games, 3vanbanjo. And I'm going to do another video to talk about how this Cockatrice program works, and I hope I can get that out soon because, you know, sets 1 to 12 are complete, and the game seems to be pretty awesome, except for the fact that, you know, shields are a little bit tedious, but it's not that bad, and plus you could like trust your opponent, I guess, if it's one of your friends. He's not going to just cheat on you. But yeah, that's it. This is the Kaijudo channel presenting a match done on Cockatrice. Really cool program, and I'm gonna release the program with sets 1 to 12 for now in another video, and I'm gonna talk about how to make decks and how to use Cockatrice. So stay tuned for that. See you later, guys.